Never thought I would say this, but I actually get super excited to run. Used to hate running. But it's a windy day, so I might fly away, but let's get it. What's up? It's Josiah Novak, TrueTransformation.com. Welcome back to the video. Today, I'm going to take you through a few tips to help you run better. So we're actually at my gym here in Northern Virginia. Gym's closed. We're still in quarantine. I know a lot of you might be considering starting to run, and I want to warn you that even though running might seem simple on the surface, over the past couple years, I've adopted running into my routine on a permanent basis, and I've learned a lot. A lot of mistakes were made. A lot of little injuries were had, and I want to save you the trouble of going through what I went through over the past couple years. So in today's video, we're going to outline 3 key tips if you want to start running and if you want to stop hating running. So let's jump into the video. All right, so tip number 1, before you start running, no matter how experienced you are or how fast you think you are or how great of a runner you think you are, one of the key steps that you always want to have as part of your running routine is a warm-up. I don't know how many people I've talked to that simply go, all right, I'm gonna go for a run. They head out of their house and they just start running. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is not having a 5 to 10 minute warm-up routine that you implement before every single run. This can help eliminate the possibility of getting hurt. It can make you run better, more efficiently, and ultimately save you the trouble of having to warm up while you're running. You can just knock it out prior and then your whole run is gonna be that much better. So make sure, if you do nothing else that I'm gonna tell you in this video, spend 5 to 10 minutes warming up before you go for a run. All you have to do is a few key things to warm up your body, and I'm gonna walk you through a few of them right now. So let me show you just a few quick warm-up things you can do. This is like the quick, get out the door as fast as possible, 5-minute warm-up routine. I'll take you through what I do. The first thing is I'm gonna take my knee to my chest, back and forth at a good pace. Okay, do about 30 seconds to 45 seconds of those right into the quad stretch, just pulling back here at a nice pace. We're not holding the stretch. This is more of an active mobility work type of routine. 30 seconds to 45 seconds of those. Then pulling up, stretching my glutes. The knee, ankle, pulling up, back and forth. 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Right from that, I'm going into reverse lunges, nice and easy. Down, here. And that's my lower body warm up. Can't forget the upper body because a lot of us sit at a desk all day, our shoulders get hunched over, back gets tight. So I want to do a little bit of this where I'm just opening up my shoulders, opening up my chest, a little bit of arm circles, once again, 30 to 45 seconds. Now, from there, I'm gonna go right into just running in place, okay? What this is gonna do is it's gonna start training my body to run with proper form. And we're gonna get into that as we go through the next few steps, but just to get our body nice and ready to run, we're gonna go from doing our movements right into just running in place. Once we pick up the pace, we start going forward, nice and easy, just getting the body ready to go. The last thing I do right before I go for a run, once I've warmed up completely, just do a little bit of ankle circles. Make sure my ankles are nice and ready to go. Last little bit of stretching here. And I'm out the door. Now, believe it or not, that's a quick warm up, right? Doing just that little bit before my run changes the game, okay? If I just go start running, I feel tight, don't feel loose. I feel awkward. It just takes about a mile to start getting loose and ready to actually run. So save yourself the trouble, 5 to 10 minute warm up. It makes a huge difference. All right, so let's talk about running form because I used to think I was a really good runner. I played sports my whole life, did a lot of sprinting, a lot of short runs, but I never really had my running form analyzed. Once I actually worked with a couple of top running coaches in the game, they were able to pinpoint some things I was doing pretty poorly. And it was causing me to be a less efficient runner and also a runner that could potentially get hurt, which I experienced some injuries along the way the past couple years. A couple of things were my ankles were hurting. I had IT band syndrome. I remember having like super sore knees randomly, and I was like, what is going on? I thought I was an athlete, maybe I'm not. What do I do? So I have my form analyzed, and here's a couple things that I picked up on that will probably help you. The first thing we got to understand about running is everything starts with our feet, all right? So if you don't have the ability to connect with the ground and you're running on these like thick running shoes, your feet aren't getting strengthened as you start to run. If your feet aren't strong, well, guess what has to happen? Your knees start to compensate, because everything is a linked chain here, starting from your toes all the way up to your calf, your knee, your hamstrings, your glutes, all the way to your lower back. So the first thing to remember is your shoe choice matters, but also how you land on the ground with your feet matters, all right? What I was doing when I first started running was what's called a heel strike. I was landing on the ground first with my heel and then my toes. And if you think about driving a car, that's like trying to hit the gas and the brake at the same time. Your heel is the brake, your toes are the gas. So what we want to do is we actually want to land first with the toes, then the heel, all right? Sounds like maybe kind of weird if you've never done it before, but if we can start to jog in place, you'll notice that it's impossible to land with the heel first. If I try to land with my heel first, I can't even jog. I can't even do it. So this jogging in place motion here is the same motion we're going to use when we actually get out on a run. So when I talked about the warm up, one of the last things I do is I jog in place to remind myself that I need to land with my toes and my midfoot first before I hit my heel. If I land with my heel first, I'm causing so much stress to my knee, to my calf, and I'm ultimately not running as fast as I potentially could because I'm hitting the brake every single time. So if you want to work on your form, start with your feet first. Get this down. Then once you're ready to start going faster, you just keep that same motion, and ultimately you're going to be a better runner because your form's better, okay? Now, this video is not to give you a full breakdown of form, because I'm honestly not a running expert. I'm just somebody who's gone through the process of becoming a better runner. So I want to give you just a few insights to hopefully encourage you to explore running and actually improve your form from a whole perspective, right? But start with the feet. Then the next tip is your cadence, okay? A lot of people get out there and just try to run as fast as they possibly can, taking long strides, just trying to get it over with, right? Cadence refers to how often your feet hit the ground. Most people don't even realize it, but they don't run with a very fast cadence. Even if they run fast, their feet aren't hitting the ground that frequently. The best runners, the ones who stay injury-free, who run really good times and can maintain endurance for a long period of time, have a higher cadence. The average cadence is 180 steps per minute, okay? Now, if you're like, I have no idea what my cadence is, a simple way to figure it out is to pull out your smartphone, download what's called a metronome. There's a free metronome app on all smartphones. You can literally set it to whatever beat per minute that you want. In this case, 180 is the ideal range for running. And then all you got to do is you just hit your feet to the beat. So if it's beep, 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 your feet just need to be hitting every time the metronome beeps. And you'll quickly be able to figure out where your cadence is. I know for me, I was like a 160 cadence when I first started. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I thought my feet turned over pretty quick. But I realized after putting the metronome on that I was really far off. So you can practice even just jogging in place, which is what I suggest. Put the metronome on and just start getting that cadence to where it needs to be. This does a couple things, okay? First of all, you're not spending a lot of time on the ground, okay? You're just picking your feet up over and over again, which helps eliminate injury, okay? If you're spending a lot of time on the ground, slamming your feet into the ground, putting a lot of pressure on the knee, you're gonna be a little bit more liable to get hurt. The second thing is it can improve just your overall endurance because you're quickly getting off the ground, right? You're just falling forward, picking up, and repeating the process over and over again. So the better the cadence, the less likely the chance of injury, better endurance, okay? I'll give you one more bonus tip because I promised 3, but I want to give you at least one more. Whenever you go for a run, especially when you're starting out, aim to run slower, but with a higher cadence. What does that mean? don't try to run as fast as you can or, PR, personal record, your mile every time you go out. Start slower and ease into the run, okay? One of the biggest lessons I've learned over the past couple years with running is that the lower my heart rate is and the slower I force myself to run, the better runs I have, okay? When I go out there and I try to hit, ultimate records and break every record I've set before with my 5K or my 10K, I'm super, super sore. I feel like crap. And ultimately, I don't see the progress that I really want long-term because I'm so run down. Aim to run slower and build from there, okay? You can do heart rate training. I know that's a popular method where you keep your heart rate lower, in certain zones. I'm not gonna get into all that in this video, but I would suggest running slower, longer than trying to go out and PR at a shorter distance, right? And just sprint through it and get through it as fast as you can. You're more likely to get hurt running fast than you are running slower for a longer distance, okay? That's a huge lesson that I had to still remember. I still have to keep it in mind as I go for runs because I'm competitive. I wanna get out there, run fast, set new records, finish the run. But I learned to enjoy it by slowing down. And ultimately, it helped me prevent injury and also get better with running. My endurance improved so much better when I forced myself to run slower, okay? So those are my top 3 with a bonus tips on how to run more efficiently. With gyms not being open right now, and heck, even if they do reopen and everything's back to normal, you might want to start taking up running. You might want to include it in your training program. And ultimately, the worst thing is to get out there and start to run, get hurt, and just realize, man, or think to yourself, I'm just not cut out for this. I used to think the same thing. I used to think I'm a sprinter, I'm a lifter, I can do some CrossFit style workouts, but long distance running isn't for me. Boy, was I wrong. It wasn't until I fixed my running, learned the basics of running, learned the intricacies that go into being a better runner, that I was able to actually start enjoying running. And now I look forward to it every week. I go for at least 3 runs a week, minimum of 4 to 5 miles every time. Never thought I'd be able to say that. And I wanna help you do the same. So if you're interested in starting to run, this is where I would start. Give this a shot and go from there. If you're interested in getting more help with your health and fitness goals, I encourage you to check out my website, thetruetransformation.com, where we're empowering people to get lean and ultimately stay in great shape for the rest of your life. Check it out. We have programs, group coaching, and private coaching available. So I look forward to seeing you over there. In the meantime, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the like button below. That way you're informed every time that we release a new video. That's it, Josiah Novak, TrueTransformation.com. Talk to you soon. Peace.